Hello everyone, Kevin Baylor, CTO of Alliance IT. Hope you're doing well. Wanted to take a moment today and bring you up to speed if you're not aware of some of the new things that have come out in Microsoft Teams over the last couple of months. Unfortunately, the end of the year got a little busy and didn't get an update out there about some of the December stuff. So we'll roll that into here in a couple of neat little features. One of the things that came out in the December release of Microsoft Teams is ensuring that everyone can be heard. So you now have the ability to go in and look at the order of the participants when they raise their hand. So if you're in a group discussion and taking questions, you can call on those participants in order now by seeing who raised their hand first, second, third, and fourth, and so forth. Gives you a little bit more control and ease of use over group meetings like that. Another nice feature, add-on that came out in December was some updates to the Teams meetings recordings. So as we know that those have shifted over to OneDrive, SharePoint, so you can provide better control and sharing options over those recordings. But in addition to that, they've added in some additional features. They've added in the multi-speed playback for a lot of the scripts. You've got that feature out there. You can now index recordings. So those are easier to basically segment out or share out with external participants. There's also auto recording. So you can set meetings to automatically start recording. And another feature coming out soon, I don't have a date on that yet, is auto expiration. So if you share a recorded meeting out to someone, you can put a expiration date on that so that after a certain time they can no longer access it. So whether it's relevant context or confidential material possibly, auto expiration would be a great new feature. Next up from December still, Microsoft has released the split video layout across multiple screens for you Microsoft Windows OS users. Mac folks, you might have to wait on that for a little bit, but basically you can maximize your Microsoft Teams app and split that video gallery across all your displays as long as content's not being shared. That way you can focus on more people, all the people that are joining in, just giving you more visibility to that entire group that's going to be in your Teams meeting, again, as long as content is not being shared. There's a few other updates that came out in December, and you can find that out online through the Microsoft Teams blog update. But here, more recently, in January, one of the features, and I think this is a well-deserved feature. We all know that a lot of times, we're in these meetings and, we put ourselves on mute because, we got background noise or, it's required to be on mute or it's, best practice to be on mute unless you're speaking, especially if there's a designated presenter or, the cat's meowing, the dogs are barking, or the kids are screaming. And when it's our turn to talk, a lot of times we'll start talking and not realizing, oh crap, yeah, we're on mute, or oh wait, where'd the mute button go? I moved my screen around, I minimized it. So it may not always be convenient to unmute yourselves. So Microsoft has now said, well, hey, let's create some shortcuts or hotkeys that you can easily unmute yourself. So you can press the Control Space key, or on a Mac, the Option Space key, that will temporarily unmute you, and when you release those keys, you go back on mute. So this is going to save you from fumbling around for that unmute button, or speaking and somebody going, hey, you're still muted. So thank you, Microsoft, for that. I think that's a feature and benefit that everyone will appreciate. And I know a lot of you probably use the Teams desktop app, but I know there's a lot of times that you have to use the web version. Maybe you're in Aunt Susie's cabin in North Carolina and didn't want to download the app, or you're out and about running around and stuck using Microsoft Teams via the browser. Well, you couldn't really modify your background that much through the web browser side of it. Now you can. You can now do custom backgrounds on the web. You can blur your background or select from some of the Microsoft provided backgrounds, making it more palatable to use the browser version of the Microsoft Teams versus thinking you have to be forced to actually have the app. So I know a lot of our clients that are using the browser will definitely appreciate this as well. Next up is a neat feature that we're looking to probably demo here in the near future, since it's a little more widely available now and not dedicated to certain devices. And that's the Walkietalkie feature, or the Walkietalkie app. It's really an app that's in Microsoft Teams. It may be something that your IT department has to enable depending on their application policies, so it may not show up for you right away. So whether you've got a lot of frontline, first-line workers, whether it's warehouse or manufacturing, potentially in the service industry side of things, the Walkietalkie app allows you to configure, the old push-to-talk. So those of us that may remember some of the Nextel devices, where it was a cell phone and walkie-talkie with the push-to-talk, and we miss those or don't miss those. This new feature in Teams will bring that back and improve that communication for a lot of those workers in those lines of industry. Other than that, again, a few other non-mentionable updates out there from Microsoft in January for Teams, and a lot more new exciting things on the roadmap as well. And as those come out, we'll get some demos together, talk about some additional tips and tricks in the future. So, meanwhile, everyone have a great day, stay safe, have some fun. We'll catch you next time. Thank you.